My name is Chris. I'm part of Team One. This is supply and demand. Supply is the relationship of the quantity of goods or services that will be sold to customers for their desired use. Supply curve is among factors that influence the price. Supply relationship shows the direct relationship between price and the demand and the quantity supplied. Demand is a set of relationships that show the quantity of the good the consumer will buy at each price during a specific time period. The time periods would be the beginning of the product life. There's also the middle, and then at the end where the price will probably look so low that there's not too much demand for it. Demand is also affected by how much the consumer wants the product or service. Demand on price also normally purchase indicates or increases or decreases when the customer will buy or not buy the product. The law of supply and demand. The law of supply is one of the most fundamental concepts in economics. It works with the law of demand to explain how market economies allocate resources to determine the price that they're going to set for a good or service. The law of supply is the microeconomic law that states that all factors being equal, as the price of a good or service increases, the quality of the good and or service that suppliers will offer will increase and vice versa. The law of supply also states that the price of the item goes up when suppliers will attempt to maximize their profits by having a good supply of the product or service. The quality of this law of supply summarizes the effect of price changes on product behavior. Law of demand is one of the most fundamental concepts in economics. It works with the law of supply to explain how market economics allocate resources to determine the price of the good and service. The law of demand states that the quality purchased but inversely with the price. In other words, the higher the price, the lower the demand will be, or the lower the price, the higher the demand. The reason for this is the opportunity cost increase so they must give something else or switch to a substitute product. The law of supply and demand is a theory that explains the interactions between the two. For a particular product and on the price, generally low supply and high demand increases price, and vice versa. High demand or low demand and high prices will affect it. You want to get it to the point where it's at an equilibrium price.
Hi, I'm Norma, and I will be talking to you about equilibrium. So when supply and demand are equal, such as when supply function and the demand function intersect, the economy is said to be at equilibrium. During this stage, the allocation of goods is at its most efficient because the amount of goods being supplied is exactly the same amount of goods being demanded. At the given price, suppliers are selling all of the goods that they have produced, and consumers are getting all the goods that they are demanding. And disequilibrium occurs when the quality demanded is not equal to the quality supplied. Disequilibrium is a situation where internal and external forces prevent market equilibrium from being reached or cause the market to fall out of balance. Disequilibrium could occur if the price was below the market equilibrium price, causing the demand to be greater than supply and therefore causing a shortage. In disequilibrium, if the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded, it is known as a surplus or excess supply. If the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied, it is known as a shortage or excess demand. Okay, so now Tanya will talk to you about an example of Apple.
Go.
Okay, Apple example of supply and demand. Apple is a great example of supply and demand. Apple is known for their advanced technology. Every year they update and add new features to their phone to stay above the competition. The iPhone has become a high demand product. Apple overprices their products because they know that their product will be sold because they are in high demand. Suppose Apple sets the price of its new phone model at $1,500. While the demand of the phone may be high due to Apple creating hype for the phone, most consumers are not willing to spend $1,500 for a phone. As a result, the sales of the new model quickly falls, creating an oversupply and lack of demand for the phone. In response to that, Apple reduces the price of the phone to $1,000 to balance the supply and demand for the phone to reach an equilibrium price. The law of demand: if the price goes up, people buy less. 5 determinants of demand: price of a good and service, price of related goods or services, consumer income, consumer taste and expectations. The law of supply: as the price of a good or service increases, the quantity of goods or services that suppliers offer will increase. The equilibrium is when supply and demand are equal. This equilibrium is quantity demanded is not equal to quantity supplied, surplus or shortage. Thank you. And this was our example of law of supply and demand. Chris, Norma, William, and Tanya have presented their presentation for law and demand.
So this was our presentation about supply and demand. I hope we explained everything the way you could understand it and needed to know. If you have any questions, please email us and we will be happy to explain it a little bit more for you. Thank you.